In this video we are going to talk about top 10 cheapest vacations. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future. The world is full of cheap vacation spots. And, these days, it doesn't require much effort to find them. No matter what continent, and no matter what interests you have, there are countless places you can visit on a budget. No destination is really ever too expensive, as long as you do some research, get creative, and have some flexibility. You just might not be living large when you visit them. Fortunately, there are a handful of destinations out there that make budget travel easy, fun, and safe. These destinations offer affordable accommodation, cheap food, and plenty of activities and excursions that can be enjoyed without breaking the bank. Whether you're a history buff, foodie, beach bum, or party animal, this list has something for you. Here is the list of top 10 cheapest vacation spots. Let's start. Number 10. Morocco. Morocco is just a stone's throw from Europe and quite cheap to travel. That is, if you manage to steer clear of the pushy salesmen trying to sell you overpriced rugs and trinkets. If you only go on organized tours, you may find Morocco to be quite averagely priced, but expenses drop considerably when traveling independently. If you're a backpacker, you'll be happy to know Morocco has a growing network of backpacker hostels. If you have a bit more budget, consider staying in some of the iconic riads, traditional hotels with garden courtyards offering a pleasant relief from the buzzing city streets. They say the Sahara has more grains of sand than there are stars in the universe, which is a wonderful idea to contemplate while you're camping under a clear Milky Way sky in the middle of the Moroccan desert. Their backpacker budget is $40 a day while their mid-range budget is $60 a day. Number 9. Guatemala. In Central America, Costa Rica tends to get the most attention as a tourist destination thanks to its abundant wildlife and highly developed ecotourism. But if you ask me, Guatemala deserves strong consideration as well. It may not be quite as developed, though its landscapes have a wow factor that few countries can match. Hidden in its northern jungles are the Mayan temples of Tikal, a stunning sight especially at sunrise. Equally breathtaking is the highland lake of Atitlan in the south, ringed by volcanoes and quaint villages where the pace of life is delightfully slow. And don't miss Semuc Champi, a great place to explore river caves by candlelight and swim through cascading pools in the jungle. And the best part is many a traveler ends up spending under $25 a day in Guatemala. Their backpacker budget is $25 a day, while their mid-range budget is $50 a day. Number 8. Cuba. See it before it changes, is the familiar refrain when it comes to Cuba. Those who've been will often trade stories on how it already has, and yet Cuba remains quite the time capsule. People often has a misconception that Cuba is an expensive country, but this seems to be based on its state-run luxury hotels focused on high-spending tourists. Travel in Cuba can actually be quite a nice bargain, especially when using its huge network of family-run casas particulares offering affordable and charming local accommodation. With none of the typical signs of globalization, vintage cars still driving through the streets, not to mention all the rum, sun, and salsa, spending some time in Cuba is guaranteed to be a unique experience. Its backpacker budget is $40 a day while its mid-range budget is $65 a day. Number 7. Armenia. Something incredible happened in Armenia in 2018. The people peacefully protested its dictator, who eventually issued a polite mea culpa and promptly resigned. Ever since there's been a sense of positivity in Armenia and increased interest in tourism there. It's still a poor country. Its landscapes dotted with Soviet-era relics and ladas still drive the streets. Neighboring Georgia might have more mainstream appeal for now, but you'll love Armenia if you're into places that are off the usual trail. I had the great fortune of visiting during Vardavar, an annual event in which the entire city of Yerevan fights each other with water pistols, balloons, and buckets. Even the police and fire brigade join in. Its backpacker budget is $25 a day, while mid-range budget is $40 a day. The country is open for travel with no restrictions for anyone. Number 6. Indonesia. Indonesia's best-known destination is of course the resort island of Bali. But in this massive archipelago, that is wider than the United States, there is so much more to discover. Consider Bali's neighboring islands of Lombok and Java, the spectacular Komodo Islands and rural Flores, or go further into Sumatra, West Nusa Tenggara, or Sulawesi. While many consider Bali cheap, Indonesia's other islands are even more so. From white sand beaches to jungles and savannas, and from blue flame-spewing volcanoes to remote rainforests where you can meet orangutans in the wild, Indonesia is a budget traveler's dream. Its backpacker budget is $30 a day, outside Bali, while its mid-range budget is $50 a day with no travel restrictions except for unvaccinated people. Number 5. Vietnam. Vietnam is among the cheapest Asian countries, not to mention among the most underrated. Visiting Vietnam more than once has shown me it is a country of contrasts, home to big tourist hotspots but equally some of the most authentic places around. The typical Vietnam itineraries don't quite tell the full story. Take the northern province of Ha Giang for instance, which is as pure and authentic as it gets. The limestone landscapes at Tam Coc are also not to miss. The town of Phong Nha meanwhile is a fantastic adventure tourism hotspot, home to the world's largest caves. The costs in Vietnam is simply very low. Eat local and you'll struggle to spend more than a few dollars per meal, while locally brewed beers cost as little as 20 cents a glass. Hotel rooms offer incredible value. As little as $10 will get you a clean and comfortable place to stay. Its backpacker budget is $25 a day while mid-range budget is $45 a day with no travel restrictions. Number 4. Thailand. Thailand may be saying it wants to focus on high-spending tourists in its post-pandemic tourism recovery, yet it remains inescapably known as one of the best budget destinations in Asia. The southern islands and beaches are more developed and can be pricey, though you can equally find luxury accommodation for great value there. If you're more of a budget traveler, know that the travel costs in Thailand get much lower as you go inland. Make your way to the northern Chiang Mai region and you'll even be in budget travel heaven. Amid the rice fields, Buddhist temples and hill tribes you can find some of the best value accommodation anywhere, whether you're looking for a backpacker dorm bed, from $5, or a comfy hotel with swimming pool, from $30. It's no wonder that Chiang Mai is still the world's go-to place for nomads or expats looking for super low cost of living with high quality of life. Its backpacker budget is $30 a day, inland, while mid-range budget is $50 a day. It is open for travel. Number 3. Republic of Georgia. Georgia, the country, is a fascinating destination that's right on the edge of Asia and Europe. It's super cheap, sometimes even rivaling the low costs of countries in South or Southeast Asia. In its eccentric capital, crumbling facades of traditional wooden Georgian houses stand next to Soviet-era architecture and daring contemporary designs. From Tbilisi, you can explore the stunning Caucasian mountain range, take a dip in the Black Sea, or visit ancient hilltop monasteries, and a few of them even built inside caves. With the introduction in 2020 of a one-year visa for remote workers, Georgia could well become the next digital nomad hotspot. Its backpacker budget is $20 a day, while mid-range budget is $40 a day. Number 2. Colombia. Colombia is an amazing country to travel. Within Colombia you will find a little bit of everything representing South America, including both the Pacific and Atlantic coasts, the epic Amazon rainforest, and the start of the Andes mountain range. Add to this the buzzing cities of Medellin and Bogotá, and the warmth of Colombians and their vibrant culture, and you've got one of the best budget-friendly travel destinations in the Americas. Exchange rates between the Colombian peso and USD or euro remain very favorable. I remember when I traveled in Colombia some years ago I got about 2,000 pesos for $1, while now it's around 4,000. Its backpacker budget is $30 a day while mid-range budget is $50 a day. Number 1. Albania. Having recently visited Albania for the first time, the underrated country in Southeast Europe. Albania is still developing, though its improving infrastructure and fledgling tourism industry make it an ideal time to go, before it becomes the next Croatia. Its unspoiled coastline, quirky capital, well-preserved Ottoman-era towns, and impressive Alps offer so many reasons to go. While you travel around Albania, you can also learn about the fascinating history of this once isolated country, which was known during the Cold War as the North Korea of Europe. Hundreds of thousands of abandoned bunkers across Albania still testify of this bizarre era. Albania is ridiculously cheap. One can easily find hostel dorms for $10 or budget hotel rooms for around $25. Food often costs around $2 per dish. Its backpacker budget is $25 a day and its mid-range budget, $50 a day. So this is our today's video. If you like our video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel or hit the bell icon. We will meet again with another interesting topic. Till then, stay safe and stay happy.